Back in the 90s, I had a friend who was really into the Power Rangers, and she was so enthusiastic about it that she got me interested in them. It was an easy sell. I liked Godzilla movies, and this was kind of an extension of that to a certain degree. It was people in giant costumes and bad dubbing, and it was just silly and fun, and very much a product of the 90s. And I am covering the American adaptation of it. I know the history of how Power Rangers was another series, actually a bunch of different series from Japan, where they took out the Japanese segments and they reshot them with American actors and all that stuff. I know all about that already. I'm talking about the Power Rangers phenomenon of back then. They blew up and were absolutely huge in the US. I was into them up until about the time when the first movie came out, the Ivan Ooze movie, and I did enjoy that, but shortly thereafter, I don't know, I kind of lost interest and would occasionally watch the show once in a while, but I didn't tune in quite as frequently as I used to, and eventually I just stopped watching altogether. Well, the series is still going strong. It's gone through various iterations over the years, and what are we now, 25 years in, and I think like 30 seasons or something ridiculous. While I was at PAX, I was at a panel for a Twitch Town Hall, and that was when they announced that they were doing Twitch Presents, and they said they were going to kick that off with a marathon of the last 831 episodes of the Power Rangers. After I got back, I proceeded to watch nothing but episodes of the Power Rangers. And I've gotten a crash course in the history of the series, the episodes that I've missed over the past week and a half or so. So watching nothing but the Power Rangers for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, has gotten me very excited for the movie. There was a short a few years back where they did a sort of serious Power Rangers with Starbuck and Dawson, and that was very well done. I don't know if a tone that dark would work for an entire movie, but for that short, it was kind of cool and really exciting and just really damn well done. So I wonder if the reception of that played into them deciding to make a new Power Rangers movie and make it a little bit more serious. Initially, I was worried that maybe they were going to go too serious, but then, it was PG-13, so how dark could they go? And consequently, after seeing the movie, I think that they did do a really good job of blending the silly and the serious. It had a lot of both, but it never really felt like it teetered one way or the other. It definitely was more serious than I was expecting, but it didn't go like full-on dark like the short did. For those of you who are unaware of the Power Rangers, the movie basically played off a similar but different tale of them coming together. It was 5 teenagers with attitude. Each one of them had something different about them. Long story short, they find out that they're the chosen ones and they're here to save the world from Rita Repulsa. They did say that they were going to change things up with the Power Rangers history, so there's some stuff that's a lot different from the TV show. Stuff that I won't go into because it's really more enjoyable if you see it. I don't want to delve into spoilers as far as that's concerned because they do show a little bit of the Power Rangers history and some of the stuff between Zordon and Rita Repulsa and things that led up to current times. The kids were great. The kids were absolutely great. I liked all 5 of them. I thought each one of them brought something different to the table. I thought that they were likable. I especially liked the kid who played Jason, the Red Ranger, and Billy, who played the Blue Ranger. The 2 of them, their dynamic was really good, and Billy was genuinely funny, and Jason was great as the leader. Elizabeth Banks surprised the hell out of me as Rita Repulsa. I thought that she did a great job as a villain. She was very obviously having fun with it and the right amount of over the top. You can't not play Rita Repulsa and not go over the top. My only disappointment is that she didn't throw in like this is giving me a headache. They didn't throw that in anywhere. I would have loved if they would have put that in somewhere, but oh well, you can't have everything. Bryan Cranston was pretty good as Zordon. He didn't really do a whole lot. He just kind of was the head in a wall that was helping them out, helping them to become Rangers. There's a part that was kind of a surprise. I don't want to spoil. That happens very early on in the beginning. But aside from that, he just kind of showed up and talked a little bit. I know there were a lot of people that were like, Bryan Cranston? Why would Bryan Cranston do the Power Rangers movie? Well, in a magical time called the 90s, Bryan Cranston even did some voice work for the old Power Rangers series. So more than likely, either he was interested in the project because it was something that he worked on way back in his career before anybody knew who he was, and I'm sure they wanted to promote the star power of having Bryan Cranston in their movie. So I'm thinking it was a mutually beneficial thing, and kind of a cool little throwback that he's not denying his past history like stuff that he did before Breaking Bad. I think there was the right amount of fan service. You had a couple of ayayay's from Alpha and a few nods and jokes to stuff in the Power Rangers history. They did not get baked into a giant pizza, but they didn't go quite that silly. Actually, the silliest thing in the movie was a repeat use of product placement, and I think that, to me, that's the way that you should do product placement. It was there, you knew what it was, but it was done in a humorous fashion, and they didn't quite beat you over the head with it, so I was cool with it. I thought it was played for laughs, and when you see it, you'll see it. You'll see it a few times. I thought it was done well, and it was enjoyable. The movie also, it was 2 hours long, and it did not feel like 2 hours long. I thought they did a fantastic job of making you care about the kids and making their friendship feel organic. None of them really knew each other. Well, they knew of each other, but they didn't really know each other well, and they all come together, and they start to develop a bond and develop a friendship. And because they didn't rush into it, they didn't become Power Rangers like immediately, I thought that they gave them time to become friends and for you to feel that they were getting to know each other. Power Rangers was way better than I expected. I kind of thought it was going to be silly but dumb and fun, and maybe they would go too much in one or the other direction. Either they would make it too silly or they would make it too serious, and I thought they skirted the line really well. There's also a mid-credits stinger where you'll definitely want to stick around for that, because that is just a neat little thing that's going to be coming in the next movie, which I absolutely cannot wait for. I hope this makes a ton of money and they do get to make at least one more of these, because this was a really good setup. Yes, it did feel like they were setting up a superhero team, but really that's kind of what the Power Rangers are. They're a bunch of teenagers that get powers and become a superhero team, and it's a whole hell of a lot better than the Chronicle. This was a lot of fun. It's going to please old fans and new fans alike. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, and really, I can't wait for them to do more.